Assalamu alaikum, y'all. Alright, for this video, we're going to talk about, inshallah, we're going to talk about the Mahdi versus the Dajjal. This video is the Mahdi versus the Dajjal. Now y'all probably wondering, what's that mean? Who's the Mahdi? Who's the Dajjal? The Mahdi first off, this is Islamic eschatology. What that means is end of day scenarios, like end of times, living in the last days type of shit. So the Mahdi is supposed to be like the general before Jesus comes back, or when Jesus comes back. But he's also the reformer of Islam. The Mahdi is a reformer. The Dajjal means the Antichrist. So we're talking about end of time scenarios. Talking about end of day scenarios. The Mahdi, the reformer of Islam, versus the Dajjal, the Antichrist. The Mahdi, he's supposed to look like the Prophet Muhammad, and like, there's different things about him. Like, I don't got my sources right now to talk about it, but there's like different things about him, like signs about him, and like things he gonna do. But I'm gonna explain more like the Antichrist, the Dajjal. The Dajjal is gonna be one-eyed. What's that mean? It means that he's going to have one eye that's regular, and the other eye he's going to have like one eye that's regular, another eye that's messed up, or another eye his other eye is not going to be there. Now y'all probably seen movies, music, people do different things, like they cover one eye, or they throw like the hand. I don't want to do that shit, because I don't identify with it. But like they'll throw the one hand over their eye and shit, or like they'll cover one eye, shit like that. Or like anytime you see a movie, someone got one eye, That's all Antichrist, Dajjal symbolism. And basically, the Antichrist, the Dajjal, he gonna form. He's supposed to have three aspects of one eye. He's gonna be physically one-eyed. Then he's gonna have the symbol. He's gonna have the one-eye symbol as for his government or army. So the Antichrist, he's gonna have a physical one eye, and then his government or his army gonna have one eye. And then psychologically, he's gonna be one-eyed. Like psychologically, like in his brain, he gonna be one-eyed. Meaning he's like a sociopath. He don't care about nobody else. He only think about himself. So those are the three aspects of the Dajjal. You know. And I think a lot of those things are relevant today. Got a lot of different like movements and things, like different things people identify with one eye. You know, like you see people wearing the hats with the one eye on the forehead. People wearing all type of shit, like. And then there's gonna be three things. There's gonna be three things that the Antichrist claim. The Antichrist, he's gonna claim first that he's a prophet. He's gonna say he's Jesus. And he's gonna say he's God. First, he's gonna say he's a prophet. Then he's gonna say he's Jesus. Then he's gonna say he's God. The seat of his power is going to be in Jerusalem. In King Solomon's temple. What's that got to do with us today? Did y'all know that right now they're working on building the third temple? King Solomon's temple, the third temple. Right now, as we speak, they're working on, in Jerusalem, building the third temple. And Trump is helping, assisting that. Like right now, all the conflict in Palestine versus the state of Israel versus the Palestinian people, them taking over land and everything. They're trying to build the third temple. I wish I had more like visuals I could give y'all, but I don't got them right now to show y'all. They're on my phone. I can't bring them up and show y'all. But that's why I'm drawing everything out. But Yeah, shit is real. Like, shit is really going on right now as far as that's being a movement. And then, like, we see in entertainment, they bring shit out like that. Like, people be, like, acting like the Dajjal. People be claiming that they're God. Like, the whole movement where people will say that, like, someone be like, oh, I'm a God. I got God consciousness, my third eye. Make me a God. That's like, that's an antichrist concept. You know what I'm saying? In the Quran, in the first part of the Quran ever revealed, it talks about the third eye. It talks about it as a lying, sinful third eye. Like they said like there's two descriptions of the third eye, or the pineal gland. You know, like third eye, pineal gland. Nowadays, most people associate that with like their higher self, or God consciousness, or like the part of their brain that make them God and stuff. But like in the Quran, it says there's like two different thought processes or psychologies dealing with the pineal gland. Now, one is a lying, sinful pineal gland. It's the one that thinks, and it says this in the Quran. It says it's the one that thinks that man, it's the one that says that the person who has a third eye, or feels like that their third eye makes them self-sufficient from God. Meaning like the person who thinks that their brain or their third eye, they don't like they feel like they don't need God, they don't need Allah, they don't believe in what they would call like a mystery God or a spook God, or you know, like they say like they would say that they're God, or that their brain through knowledge they can become God. Now and that they're self-sufficient, they can create whatever they want. Through band, like that's an antichrist follower psychology. The reason being, and it says in the Quran, it says that your third eye is lying to you. And then the other one says that like there's one that like fears God or fears Allah or something like that. And if you think about it, like Muslims, when Muslims pray, a Muslim prostrates basically a Muslim basically puts their third eye on the ground to Allah, and like that's the most like sacred position of worship you could be in. Like even Jesus, peace upon him, like when he prayed, he bowed down. Before they tried to crucify him, he was bowing down, putting his head on the ground. And Muslims, when you do that, basically what you say in your prayer is you say like, glory be to the Most High God. So it's like you're submitting your third eye or your consciousness to Allah. And the main element of psychology in Islam is in Arabic called taqwa. This will take us back to the Mahdi. So the Mahdi, his psychology is that of taqwa. The Mahdi was the reformer of Islam, and with Jesus, or on the side of God, his psychology is that of taqwa, which basically means like consciousness of Allah, or like you're conscious of the oneness of Allah. You're conscious that God is one, that He's supreme, that He's the head sovereign. He controls everything. So basically, like there's two psychologies we're dealing with nowadays in this world. There's the psychology of God consciousness or taqwa, and then which is, you know, like righteous and things, and then you got the psychology of the Antichrist, which is where you feel like people feel like they're God. They can do whatever they want, do as thou wilt. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I learn or I have knowledge, I could do whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that, it goes back, you know what I'm saying, to the Antichrist and shit. I'm going to talk on this more, but I'm just touching on it briefly. Y'all let me know. If you hit me up with comments and questions and shit, I'll talk about it more. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.